If you're a heating and air conditioning technician or even a salesperson, what do you need to know about getting to the table and why does it matter? This is a super important question. I'm Scott Sylvan Bell. I'm coming to you live for HVAC Technician Sales Secrets on a perfect day to talk about sales and a perfect day to talk about you. So here's what's going to happen. You are going to be a technician. You are going to get to the table. You're going to do the right thing. You're going to know about recapping, the price, how many options to give, how to do financing. At the end of the day, you have to ask for the sale. You have to be able to say, which one works best for you? Which one would you like? Which one doesn't make sense? There is a lot of different ways to do this. Like there's a million different ways to make a cake. There's a million different ways to close a deal. It is going to come down to your personality, and your personality is not mine. Like sometimes people say, Scott, you're pretty aggressive. That's fine. That's me. I've rode with salespeople before, but when I meet them, I'm like, there's no way that this guy can get himself out of a wet paper bag and closes every single deal. I've ridden with salespeople who are supposed to be the best and aggressive, and they can't close anything. It is a personality function of who you are and what you do. And the reason I bring this up is there's a lot of confusion about the closing process and how it can be done. At the end of the day, one, you do need to step outside of your comfort zone and ask for the business. And two, you need to figure out the way that's going to work best for you, your vocabulary, your personality, and what you do. Because last thing you want is to be Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. You want to be the same person from the time that you do your door approach to the time that you ask for the business. And then after you ask for the business, you still need to be the same dude or the same chick. And I can't tell you how many times I've ridden with salespeople that they've watched all sorts of closing processes, and most closing processes are taught very masculine and aggressive. And this can work for you if that's your personality. It can work against you if you're a little bit less aggressive than most people. And so I would say there's a lot of really good sales training out there when it comes to closing. But what isn't really taught is you need to match that closing technique, those words, those phrases, those word tracks to your personality, to how you would say it, right? There's a lot of times where people say stuff to me. I'm like, that's not exactly how I would say it. How would I say it? And then like I will grab my voice recorder. There's my sunglasses. I will grab my handy dandy voice recorder. I got my Ren Spooner bag right here. I will grab my voice recorder and I will drive a couple of hours just repeating stuff to myself with my phone on airplane mode, right? And I do that on purpose to get used to, like, how would I say it? Like it takes on average between 60 and 100 repetitions of you saying something for you to get comfortable with it. There you go. I gave you the number. People say, Scott, how many times do I need to say it? The number shall be 60. That's sign language, by the way. That's 6 in sign language, 60. And this is why you should go to HVACTechSecrets.com. I'll give you the goods, not in the Facebook group, not in the YouTube channel, which means private coaching, private training, group training, or discounted group coaching and training, or private coaching and training. Okay. So asking for the sale, you've got to get your legs underneath you, and you've got to role play. You've got to practice, and you're going to get objections, right? I get objections. People tell me no. There's people that I sit down with, and once they give me an objection, I'm able to overcome it and close the deal. We get some training done. And there's times where people just say, no, it's too expensive. I don't want to do it. Right. I did a bad job of explaining my value proposition. That's on me. I have to take that responsibility on my shoulders and say, all right, somewhere I screwed up, or it was a bad fit. The people were cheap. Like they didn't want to, hold their team accountable. They didn't want to do what needs to be done. Not everybody should be your client, right? Hands down. When somebody tells me like, I got like a 90% closing rate for 99% of the people that I know, I worry about that. Like my friend, Mitch Smith. Mitch is a baller. Love the dude. When somebody says, what does that dude close at? He's like legitimately like an 80 and 90% closer. Real deal. Ridden with him a bunch of times. Every time I ride with him, it's very insightful, but I'm not him and he's not me. That dude says stuff that I'm like, glad you got away with it. I don't know how I would do that, right? So Mitch, if you're watching, love you, man. So like, you got to know that at the end of the day, you have to ask for the sale, but how you do it is going to be based upon your skills, your talents, your technology, your vocabulary, and your personality. Should you push yourself? Absolutely. Should you practice pushing yourself? Absolutely. Should you sit down and role play? That's how you're going to get there. And then like I have this belief that if I don't think that somebody's going to buy from me and I have new content that I'm going to try it on them. Like I'm going to sprinkle in new content. Like I'm not going to go 100% new content on a presentation because like that's going to mess with my numbers. I'm going to sprinkle things in, statements, questions, comments, things that I'm going to say, things that I'm going to do. but you have to ask for the sale, and you have to practice asking for the sale. What's the number? 60 to 100. 100 times, 60 to 100 times for you to get used to it. Like, you don't have to do what I do. It's just, I'm going to give you my example. I get my headset on. I got a gaming headset. I have a gaming headset that I keep here in the car, and I can't get to it. It's behind my seat, right? Found it. I've got a gaming headset right here that I keep here in the car, and I grab, it's bright green of all these colors. I grab my handy Sony voice recorder, and I record myself driving down the road. Preferably I like to go to Monterey, but like, you may not live in California. You could drive somewhere else. And I just practice these statements over and over and over again. Like, even for buying businesses and even for coaching. Right? There's times that my conversations that I use here on social media, whether it's YouTube or Facebook, like, these are the repetitions that I put in. This is me getting used to being in front of a camera. This is me talking in front of groups of people. Like, last week I was in San Diego. I was coaching entrepreneurs on buying businesses. I was coaching people on how to get to the next level. So I have to step outside of my comfort zone. I have to ask for the business. I'm on the phone with business owners saying, I see that you have a $30 million business. Do you want to sell it? And, you know, we're having a sales conversation. That didn't happen automatically. I mean, it took a bunch of repetitions for me to say it. Everywhere in life takes repetition. You want to ask somebody out, it takes repetition for the most part. You might be the lucky dude or the lucky chick that asked one time and you found the person that you love and you're married to them. You know, you might find the job that you're at is the perfect job and you only have to go through one job interview, but almost everybody else on the planet, 99.999% of the people of this population, have to keep asking, and that's going to be you. You got to ask for the sale. Just like this, watch. You got one of three things to do from here. Just one of three. Find the subscribe button. Click on it. Every time I send out a video, you'll get an update. 2, hit follow if this is social media. 3, share this with a friend. I just asked you for the business. We'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.